All right, welcome everybody here. It's going to be the first semi-final at DreamHack Valencia in Spain. And I don't know about you guys, how excited are you? That map pool, FIFA, and maybe you can just touch up on it as well. What's your thought?
Well, actually, it's quite surprising that TSM picked Train. When they used to be Copenhagen Wolves and also Dintas, when the old Train used to be in play, that was their #1 vetoed map. They never played it. They actually really disliked that map. So coming into the new Train, it's actually quite surprising. That just comes to show how much Kerrigan is involved in this team in terms of like what maps we play. You know, do we want to work on another map? And it just makes them a whole lot better. Because before, when they used to have this one particular map, they always kept on vetoing. They suffered from it because they couldn't really veto away, like for example, if Navi had a really good map they don't want to play, you couldn't even veto that because they were forced to veto off Train. So overall, I think that the map was quite interesting. It's going to be fun to see TSM play Train. I would favor Navi in terms of just the map picks, but I also do believe that TSM is the better team here. So it's going to be a toss-up.
Well, the one thing that we have to keep in mind right now is that TSM are also coming off a bit of a break, right? We haven't really seen them in too many tournaments recently. They've all been wrapping up school. So just how prepared are they going to be coming into this? Keep in mind, they've only played like 2 maps so far this entire tournament, right? They had yesterday off the cool, but they're still coming into this as their first big best of 3, whereas Navi now have a little bit under their belts. So this is definitely going to be one of the closer matches, I think, of this tournament, because Navi have just won a tournament, ESWC last week, whereas TSM, it's been a little bit.
But it's hard to know if you should put that on the positive or the negative side, because it could also be that exactly because TSM have had a bit of a timeout, maybe even if it's just a couple of days, they've had to adjust some things, they've had to, you know, they can watch Navi play, maybe they've been able to change their game a little bit. So I think it can go both ways, really.
I mean, just basing off TSM's performance at ESA, ESL, sure, they only played 2 maps and it was versus good teams, but they were looking a little bit shaky. Now they had some more time to prepare coming into this tournament. So I do believe we're not going to see the same TSM as we saw at ESA, ESL. We will see a better TSM here, even though that, you know, playing against Navi, which is just coming up from a tournament win.
Well, here we go, guys. We're going live into the first map here of the first semifinal of the DreamHack Valencia CSGO tournament, powered by FACEIT. We're going to be getting into it now with Guardian taking a peek mid, gets all the info, and TSM, they're looking for a fight. They've got full Kevlar across the board, and they started off already with 2 kills. Kerrigan and Cajun both starting.
Oh, looking very good here indeed. Guardian is going to take 1 refrag, and Sipnik's just trying to stay alive in connector and being very annoying in the meantime. No bomb plant yet, which is working out good for Navi. It means they can get back on the board here as Guardian picks up a 2nd kill. It's looking a bit tricky for TSM. They are keeping them locked down. And Dupree's going to pick up a kill there on Flamey, but seized. Dropping the bomb carrier. Now it's a 2v2, and there's going to be a kill on Dupree. Now last man standing, and it's going to be Carrigan. He goes down. Guardian with a triple kill, and Navi, great comeback into the round.
Yeah, I mean, TSM with 2 great entries there, opting to go in connector. Problem was that they wanted to take control of jungle in the winter room. That didn't happen because Guardian was there holding. The idea was to plant from towards catwalk and also connector. Because of the fact that TSM never had, like, didn't have any nades, it made it really difficult for them to actually get the bomb down even.
Yeah, but that's the issue. They had 2 guys on that bomb site. They had 2 guys on the bomb site, but then the bomb is stuck in connector. They weren't even able to go for like a standard default plant or anything of the sort. Those 2 guys, they just kind of got shut down. Guardian, every time they peeked forward, he found a kill. So Seized and Guardian just doing huge work. And now going into the 2nd round, Navi, they don't even hesitate. They go straight rifles. No SMG shenanigans here.
Yeah, and looking like a very casual round here. TSM don't have armor either. Have bought a couple of pistols here, but nothing too exciting. Cajun gonna be able to kill, but apart from that, it feels like Navi should be able to come out of this round with the rest of the team alive here. Sue's gonna get a kill on Cajun, and that leaves Device.
They're basically just mulling things over. I'd like to see the TSM, they're kind of moving away from that current meta of force buying every single time. They're starting to think long term. They want to get into that 4th round with as much money as possible.
Yeah, and I actually like that because there's not a lot of teams out there nowadays that can actually win that force buy. There's only a handful of teams. It's quite surprising though to me that Guardian actually opted to buy the rifle. Sure, one of the Navi members ended up going down. He still rebought actually, which is, that's really weird to me.
That's the trait though. That's like Guardian is unique in that sense where he will just spend that money. He never holds back for the op. He always just goes for the straight rifle every time. So, you know, you're right to point that out because usually you would expect the opper to be going just pistol and saving to make sure that he can have it in the 4th round.
Yeah, I mean, especially now when you actually end up losing a member, he can just drop that, play with the pistol because you know that TSM is going to be on an eco.
Not already. Nice mow down by Seized. Edward there to help, of course, and this is just going to be a perfect shutdown. Navi. That's how an anti-eco is done, and well, there's all your money. I mean, at least you're making most of your money back, and what could happen here potentially is somebody else on the team might drop for Guardian. So that's always something to keep in mind as well if they're just sitting here getting the kills like this.
Yeah, well, since Navi just survived with all 5, I don't see Na'Vi actually just buying it up here. Just keep the weapons you have. If you end up losing it, you can still buy the op next round.
I'm really wondering if it's like a psychological thing for Guardian. He is one of those players that will actually tilt quite hard if things go bad in the beginning. So maybe he's just afraid if he buys an early op that it'll somehow turn around on him. Good push from Edward there, top mid and taking down Carrigan. The rest of TSM look like they're going to try and execute towards the A bomb side, but they kind of needed Carrigan to stay alive up there.
They needed him to draw the attention and start putting some pressure in mid, put some pressure on Connector. Instead, now TSM trying to shift things up. Fresh smoke goes down in B apartments, however, so Dupree not really going to have a target to work with too much. Nicely done, though. Just as the smoke clears, Dupree finds that shot on Seized out in the open. That brings it back to a 4-on-4. They still have plenty of nades to work with here, TSM, so they are not out of this yet. A minute left on that clock. All the time in the world now to try and exploit this new advantage that they have. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, actually Seized mistimed when the smoke was going to clear up, because you can tell he put out that flashbang and he was hoping to sort of get the timing down perfect, but that actually got him killed. Pretty good grenade coming out from Zeus, but at 40 seconds, it definitely seems like TSM is about to execute on this bomb site. And what do you think, Free and Zeus here alone?
No, he does have the catwalk rotation coming in, but since he actually missed the jump there, he's not going to be able to spot him.
He ends up going down, but you're right, Edward was on catwalk, and he does at least pick up a kill, which means now they can play the retake for the B-bomb site here. Bomb's going to go down with about 20 seconds left. There's a 2v3, and Cajun and Sipnik's going to have to try and stay alive. Sipnik's walking right in, and Edward will drop him, which is going to leave Cajun at 12 health in a 1-on-2. Not a very good position, and he ends up dropping a Flamey.
Yeah, solid play here on Navi's part, pacing themselves, coming in. Basically, Zeus making the correct call, and both him and Edward getting one frag each at the beginning. That really just bled out TSM. From there on out, Navi are too solid with the teamwork with the remaining 3 members to let that get out of hand.
Yeah, I do like the fact that Edward actually pushed mid in the beginning of the round, just setting the pace for the game, right? It's like, okay, well, I'm just going to push myself. I don't have Guardian to cover me with his op, but I don't care.
Now there's the op, right? But they do have, I mean, they're starting to get some crazy money, actually. $8,800 over on Edward to begin this round after a full buy. That's pretty solid stuff. But Guardian has his AWP now, so we'll see how they fare TSM. Bit of a quasi-buy coming out from TSM. Tech 9s, few Kevlars picked up, some helmets, but the Vice is skimping, so that makes you think that he wants to go for that sniper rifle in the next round.
It could well be Guardian with an opening frag here, but the Vice will take down Flamey right afterwards. And Guardian actually going to get overwhelmed a little bit, and there's Zeus dropping as well. Oh no, Na'Vi, this should be a sure win round, but now it's looking a bit tricky as the bomb is already down. It's a 2v3 now.
There's the retake happening already. Edward from CT spawn's going to be picking up Zepnix, and he's got that HE as well, but he doesn't need it. Seized is there to pick up the frag, and that leaves Device now all by his lonesome, stuck in T-Pit. Bomb is planted for him, so they do have that. But they seem to have an idea, Na'Vi, where this man is lurking. He will peek out, and he's just going to go and try for the horde, and he gets the angle just right, but he can't get in position in time to stay alive. Seized will be able to hunt him down, and could just barely get this off. Yes, he does, just in the nick of time. Na'Vi with the defuse.
And Na'Vi there, it was a little bit... It was a bit strange because you have one of the members just running through the smoke and see to spawn. When you see a smoke around like that, the 2 people that's on the site, you either help him out right away, and if you can't do that, just try to fall back and just retake this side once the smokes actually fade, so you don't actually just end up running through the smoke, giving them more weapons to work with, especially knowing that they have armor and a bomb down. It was very dangerous.
Maybe a little, just to hint the pressure there, or maybe just wanting to get a pull fast one, basically. Regardless, whatever the reason, it nearly cost them. Good clutch there by Seized coming through. Device literally needed like half a second longer there. If he could have got that kill faster on the defuse, he could have got behind Tetris, stayed alive just that 1 second. That's all they needed.
Yeah, and looked like a bit of a pause here, maybe some TeamSpeak issues. I think Moses was saying actually on Twitter at some point that Na'Vi must be happily confused that people keep picking Mirage against them. I mean, obviously TSM didn't pick this map, but they leave it in the pool, and Na'Vi's a terrifying team on this one. So I think you might be right about that. You know, it must be a little bit confusing to Na'Vi, just everyone sort of leaves it in, but I guess that, you know, maybe it's also just a sign that Na'Vi actually are good on a whole bunch of maps, like they're strong on Inferno 2, for instance.
I'm glad to see that Zeus has his Oscar again as well. Apparently over on the message boards, you know, CIS, you know, it's like, give this man an Oscar. And of course, Zeus goes one step further, takes an actual Oscar. Now that's his team mascot. We'll see if it comes through for them this time, if he will deserve that statue at the end. Na'Vi up 5-0 so far, but TSM with the full buy and a double AWP start here for TSM as well. But then you go across the map and you have Zeus with a Scar 20. So that's not usually what we see early on in the half. Usually teams have ridiculous bank when they're willing to go for the auto sniper, but Zeus is just going to step 2 and manage to pick that up early. But Device is the one to start off strong here for TSM by taking out Seized.
do you think about this double EWP setup? I mean, now that they got the first kill with it, it's kind of looking good, but still, on the terror side, it usually seems like a bit overkill, maybe especially on a map like Mirage.
It's very hard. If you get the initial picks, if you get one more pick, then it's fine. But if you don't end up getting the picks, actually taking a side with 2 ops is extremely difficult, and it's going to end up hurting them. So they do need one more pick here, unless their rifle members actually show up here when they decide to take the A-bomb site.
There's the flash. No, it's going to be a smoke to go in, and Flamey goes behind that, gets one for free. Does manage to get out of there intact. This boy's going to be able to fade away to that site, and that brings it back to a 4-on-4. So definitely a bit of a fast one pulled on TSM there. They're going to be regretting that. Kerrigan has found an AK somewhere, however, so they are down to the 1, but then this is that long line that Zeus is looking to hold with that Scar 20. It's so powerful in this angle. Just hold down mouse 1, headshot works too, and Device is gone. Although Edward gets caught throwing a nade by Dupree. Zeus coming to bear. He's going to turn this into a 2-on-1, but Guardian brings it back, misses the flick, and Dupree will be putting TSM up on the board.
Yeah, and you saw there actually when one of the TSM members went down, he actually switched over, so you actually only had 3 rifles and 1 op. So that was a good decision made by, I believe it was Kerrigan. Actually picked up the...
Yeah, sort of an unusual round here because, I mean, the whole fight happens before the bombing went down. I mean, normally in the A-bomb side, the easiest thing is to get the bomb down, and then actually holding it is where a lot of the trouble starts.
That's all right. I mean, this seems a bit touch and go, like Na'Vi might be getting a little antsy. Device will be landing that first shot. No fun stuff for Edward this time. You push up to the top, there's nobody there to support you, you're going to get picked, and TSM, they jump on the opportunity. Guardian does have another AWP though, so he could actually buy that, and they are going for some interesting mid play. Guardian taking a peek into underpass. He does have support as well, so...
This is such a weird buy for coming in from Na'Vi though. 2 pistols, 1 op, 1 FAMAS, and basically no nades. Edward had a rifle, but it's... by this point in time, you shouldn't even consider gambling like that. Just save, you know, Guardian can maybe buy an op, he can still buy an extra op, but...
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either, but C's is going to get the kill there. Running up from behind is Zeus, but he only has a C-set 75. He's going to get a quick headshot there. Goes for a bit more, but surely this is not going to be working out. He's got a 3-on-3 on his hand. He gets a second one and picks up a rifle as well, and it's down to a 2v2 with the bomb down. Sipnix and Kerrigan are still alive and trying to buy time, but there's plenty of it for Na'Vi to try and retake this bomb site. They got one player sandwiched in their corner, and that's going to be Kerrigan going down, and now it's all on Sipnix.
And he's not, the bomb isn't planned for him, so this is a very awkward situation. He's hoping for somebody to peek. They peek at the same time, though. And once again, Na'Vi, they worked so well together as a team in that situation. Closing in on the man behind car, and then just getting that crossfire established on the site.
Yeah. Yeah, and great backstop by Zeus coming in there as well, having only the pistol, knowing that they're going towards B, going underpass, getting those two crucial kills. If he would have ended up going down, even from the first one here, they would just end up losing the round.
The fact that he picks up that one on Cajun B, that is so huge. Like the first one, yeah, but that kill on Cajun, that's really what broke it open. And now that leaves Na'Vi, I mean, in an excellent position. The risk paid off, essentially. Yep. They actually get that force buy to work for them. Now they're the ones with the full money, and TSM are the ones going for a force buy here. 3 rifles and 2 Tech 9s with a handful of nades for the Danes. And it gets a little tricky, but they are some of the best Tech 9 players in the world, so we definitely can't not count them out of this round.
Well, smoke into the window, try and get a little bit of mid control there. Grenade's not going to do too much, and fairly successful already. That grenade, though, oh, it just lands a little bit too far. It's a real shame there, otherwise could have softened up the terrorist targets. It's still about a minute left, and they line up for Guardian, and that's dangerous. That could have been a 2-for-1 shot, but look at this. Kerrigan and Dupree coming back into it with a couple of kills, and Guardian missing a fairly easy shot there. Might give TSM a bit of an opening.
Edward is managing to bring it back, however, and seized, flanks in through jungle. Guardian is there to get another kill on his Zipnix, misses the point blank, but still his teammates should be able to recover that rifle at the end here if they are to win. Device will get the default plant, playing it safe and basically trying to bait Na'Vi out into the open, looking towards stairs. This is a bit of a tricky spot now for Na'Vi. They need to make sure that they pace this correctly. Flash goes off to buy the time, but Seas doesn't even waste any time at all. He just goes for the straight wall bang. And they're going to be able to save Guardian's op as well, so this is a huge round here for Na'Vi.
Yeah, but it was the same scenario here again for TSM. They opted to force buy, had no nades. Even Kerrigan, he had a Tech 9 and armor basically, but he didn't have a smoke for Seas' spawn, and it's just Guardian wide open. Even though he missed a few shots, just the fact that he's there, TSM will not be allowed to actually plant the bomb, and they also had the jungle and window control, so they were basically stuck. They couldn't get the bomb down. They really had to kill Guardian.
Where's the smoke from Zipmix going is what I'm wondering.
Look how close that is.
Yeah, it was nearly a 2-for-1 there. We're going to have another round of pistols here for TSM. They are keeping the pressure up on Na'Vi. I mean, at least Na'Vi, they aren't winning these rounds hands down, all 5 alive now towards the mid. Guardian putting on a bit of a demonstration for us here. Why we call him one of the best offers in the world. That third one was a thing of beauty. They're going to be able to get rid of the rest of TSM, but Guardian. All right, once Guardian starts to get his eye in, that's when you start getting worried.
Yeah, and for TSM here, I would actually be very worried right now. So the only real round that they actually won was on the A bomb side, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, it was.
And they have actually like the afterplant situation on the B bomb site. So they're actually getting the sites. It's just they're not getting the bomb down on time and getting to actually play the afterplant.
It's just looking a little disjointed here. You're right. They will go for that double op play again, TSM, and the leg shot goes in. Guardian strikes the body, however, and Device is down. So once again, man advantage here for Na'Vi. This time around, last time TSM went for the double op, they got the opening. They were able to play off of that. Now we have to see what they decide to do now that they're a man down.
Yeah, and just think about how many rounds Guardian has been in the middle in that window room, and just when they walk over to B, he's there with the open stat. That's also very confusing. Now, a bit of a battle here, but Dupree's going to end up going down to Seized and giving Na'Vi a 2-man lead. Even though 2 of them are very low on health, they still definitely have an advantage. And Guardian has swapped all the way back over to the A-bomb side, so making it very hard for the Danish team to guess where he's going to be at. Zeus with a 1, then the double, looking for the triple. He's got only a couple of bullets left, and he's going to swap it out, but Edward will finish up the round, and it's going to be Na'Vi at 9 and 1 here. Very, very strong start.
Yeah, and actually Na'Vi are playing really good right now. Even Guardian having their first entry onto the B, then you actually have C's just pushing through the smoke at B as well, getting that kill, 5-on-3 situation, and then TSM, it's not really anything they can do there. They were like pretty much forced to go towards A, and by that time Guardian had already rotated and they had 4 members there just waiting for him.
Yeah, but you're good to point that out, Anders. The fact that Guardian, I mean, what we expect from him is to lock down that mid area for Na'Vi. Every time he goes window connector, just shuts down that whole portion of the map. But he can keep you guessing. Going into B apartments like that, getting that initial pick, that was a big play there by Na'Vi, by him in particular. So we'll see what they decide to go for. I'm wondering if we have a bit of a timeout here, perhaps. Wouldn't be surprised for TSM to call for one at this point, seeing as how this next round is going to be so important for them.
Yeah, I actually think TSM is one of the worst teams at calling timeouts. I think they just kind of keep fighting for a very long time. So I'd be very happy if they actually done that.
Yeah, it's one of those things where even teams to this day, they don't use their timeouts at a good time. They tend to just use it whenever they're way far behind, right? It's like, yeah, like 10-1. Now they use that 9-1. I would have used it even sooner, knowing that, well, we're getting the sites, but what are we doing wrong? Like, what can we do better when we actually do get to the A bomb site? And one of the things is that they're way too slow to get the bomb down when the smokes have time to fade.
Well, looking like a Tech-9, no armor, but a bunch of smokes, so essentially a play to try and put the bomb down here, I think.
Yeah, that's definitely what they have in mind, because you have all these smokes going out. This is just going to be run and gun, straight up rush. Nice timing on the nade. Going to do big damage to all 3. And that looks like a Molotov going down as well. They're roasting right now, TSM. Still fairly low, but they are successful. The goal here was to get the plant, and they will manage to do just that with 4 players alive. They take the fight up close, and Kerrigan is seriously one of the best players in Tech-9 play. He just always seems to find at least 1 kill. So he will get that headshot point blank, but no luck for the rest of his team. Device still the last man here, but there's really nothing he can do to stop this defuse. He can continue to get some damage out, but that smoke going down, and now he's just kind of blocked out here. Hopefully he can get something out of it, but he's not really going to manage it, just staying alive in the end.
Yeah, and that's one of the rounds, like TSM, they actually went fast and got the bomb down. Having rifles in that situation, having one guy just lurking in connector, getting the bomb down, because it was a good plan. So if you just if you get that bomb down once again, and you have 1 or 2 guys just lurking in the mid area, chances are you might have actually winning the round, because Na'Vi will obviously rotate, and we have that kind of positioning. It's actually very hard to actually end up defusing the bomb.
Well, the fact is they're going to start to... they need to start winning rounds right now on TSM. 10-5 is actually still pretty bad, but it's manageable. But if Na'Vi win any more rounds, this first map might be a bit of a landslide.
Yeah, well, there's the smoke already going down to block off Guardian and window. They did have a man in underpass as well. That was Dupree, who's going to be setting that connector smoke up. So slowly but surely, TSM working their way up short. Guess who's waiting for him in ladder room, though? That's going to be Edward. Starts off strong by taking out Kerrigan. There will be a follow-up, however. He did nearly get caught with a nade in his hand, and the spray battle goes Cajun B's way. But rotation is already coming through here for Na'Vi. 2 players making their way into Kitchen, and right now it comes down to the decision. TSM, do they decide to press forward, or has this taken too much time? They need to change things up, it looks like.
Oh, Sipnix. If he gets that kill, there's a way back into the round, but Now they've wasted a lot of time. They are grouping up towards the B bomb site, and Guardian is waiting right behind that smoke. Looking towards short at the moment, but it's still going to be tricky. Backup is pretty far away, so if they kill Guardian here and put the bomb down, there's at least a chance.
Guardian's gonna be too quick. He's just locks it. And now looks short. Oh, unscopes just as it comes through and steps right out into Dupree's line of sight, but it's still a 2-on-3 situation here. TSM looking to get that bomb plant as quickly as possible, but Zeus doesn't want to give them the space to do it. He's gonna be right on top to pounce, and there it is. Free kill on the Cajun. Nothing Dupree could do. And now Dupree, he's in a 1v3, needs to just land nothing but headshots, but it's not meant to be. Flamey will lock down the last kill of that round. And that's putting Na'Vi up onto an 11-1 scoreline right now. This is such a huge lead now for the CIS team.
Yeah, but you can clearly see that TSM, they're not warmed up at all, even though they were here very early, trying to get some extra deathmatch time in. But Sipnik's missing the frag there onto the A ramp. It's not something you can allow to do, especially versus a team like Na'Vi.
Yeah.
You're gonna get very punished for it.
Cajun tried to make up for it in ladder rim, right, taking out Edward, but just too little too late. Well, another smoke going down in window, so again, they want to remove Guardian's point, but this one is not perfect. Far from it. Guardian has a lot of room. He can actually see all the way up to mid right now. This could be a big here. They are trying to set it up with some nades to try and gain some control, but then Edward takes that peek, and once again, he's successful. He's had so many great peeks, Edward, so far. Guardian whips around and takes out Cajun. And now it's down to a 4-on-3 TSM. 2 players making their way towards that B site, and nobody currently here for Na'Vi. Bit of an error actually coming through here for the CIS team, over-rotating in the end.
TSM could do this if they played very well. There's a great headshot from Sipnik to take down Guardian, and with the bomb planted and with Dupree stabbing them in the back, this is actually very winnable indeed. Molotov gonna go up, and time running out for Na'Vi. C's gonna go down, and the remaining members trying to get in. Zeus is gonna go down as well. That's Sipnik's picking up a double kill, and Edward trying to sneak up from behind. He's gonna get an easy kill there, but shouldn't be able to defuse, although they are pretty far away. He's going to fake it once and gets the kill on the device, and now he's going to hold it in. Dupree running close, and he almost dies, but he's going to get the frag for the triple kill, and finally a round for TSM.
Yeah, and it was actually a really good round for TSM as well. Getting the mid control, faking A, and then end up going B. And Na'Vi, obviously, this was the first round that TSM even attempted a fake. So overly rotation coming in from Na'Vi, leaving the B bomb side all alone or completely uncontested, getting the bomb down and actually just holding. So great round overall for TSM.
You gotta wonder, however, if Edward had like 2 more bullets, what would have happened?
Yeah,
there?
it wouldn't have been enough time to defuse, I believe.
It's very close, but there's some clever play from TSM. Device gets boosted up top mid, looking over that smoke, and picks off Guardian. So now TSM actually have the entry frag. They've taken out the raid boss. This is definitely looking good for the Danish team. 2 rounds left in this half, and it is so important that they pick up both of them. So now with the mid control as well, Na'Vi have collapsed back onto the sites, and they are starting to go for a little bit of a risk here. Seized pushing into B apartments once again, looking to see if he can't find anybody, and this is a lot of information gained for Na'Vi. You can start getting an idea of things here. If Seized, I mean, if he stays up here so long, I mean, it's a minute mark, so you can potentially have some rotation coming out here for TSM, but he is not seeing anybody. And there it is, the call. Edward gonna start working his way back closer to CT to get to that A site if he needs to.
Well, easy kill for Zeus, another one-day lineup. He gets the triple, and it's finally going to go down to Dupree, but that's the power of that auto sniper. Cajun with a very easy kill there on Seized, and now it's going to be all up to Edward. 35 seconds left and in a 1v2. He's not going to be able to stop the bomb from going down. He walks in, does get the first spray there, turns a quick 180, but doesn't have enough health to win that fight. So, I mean, I think it's very little consolation here at the end, but at least TSM are making up for it towards the end of the half here.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, it could have been just a landslide of a victory for Na'Vi. And since this is so dangerous, like TSM coming into the bomb site with the advantage, end up getting 3. So it's obviously it's a 2-on-3 situation, but he goes down right away. Winning that round is very crucial, though. You see here, even Na'Vi's buy, they don't have that much money, so they should potentially end up with a 11-4 scoreline here at least.
Well, unless they walk right into Zeus, who's got one of the rifles here. He's going to spray down 1, then 2, and does fall back into shadows, and Flamey to take down Carrigan as well. Sipnik's in the device trying to reply, but that's going to be the end of the round. A quad kill for Zeus. He just destroys the whole push. I mean, they pushed the one place where they actually had a rifle.
Yeah, and again, it was a gamble from TSM. Probably knew that Na'Vi didn't have too much money to work with, trying to do something unorthodox and just go apartments. Didn't pay off. 12-3. It's not looking great for TSM right now. They seem very, very shaken and very stirred up and extremely cold. And it worries me actually, because I do believe that they actually needed to win this particular map to actually be able to beat Na'Vi, because going into train, I think it's going to be extremely difficult.
It's going to be very tough, you're right, because we don't really know what kind of shape they're in there. And if they've prepared anything in particular for Na'Vi, I mean, we do have a lot to go off of with Na'Vi. They've played train a lot, so there's something there for TSM. We'll have to see. We'll wait until we get into that second map, because right now it all rides on this pistol for TSM. If they can pick this round up right now, they're back into this game, because we have to remember this used to be like the big, the yellow and black freight train, essentially. Once they got rolling, they were so hard to stop. They're absolutely capable of doing the same to Na'Vi here in the second half, so 4 Kevlar for them, a kit, an HE, and TSM just patiently waiting, although they are taking peeks. And Kerrigan, did he spot that man? Gonna go ahead, and there it is. Get some information at least, spots a man in underpass. So that's a little something to go off of here with TSM.
We are looking to see towards a B player though. They do have two, so it looks like an A fake going into B.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering as well. Well, actually, I was wondering maybe if they're going to underpass with the bomb after they showed themselves a B. It kind of works both ways.
And that bomb is heading there, so 55 seconds left seized. He's got that Tech 9, he's got the Kevlar, spots out a man. He's looking to see if he can't catch somebody for free here, trying to get as much information as possible. Goes for that jump perhaps. He's going to be looking at short, but it is going to be here. Dupree, instant headshot, taking out Seized. That's a huge kill, but Edward does bring it back. Double Tech 9 play. Kerrigan there to pick up the one, and he's going to run out of bullets. Edward up close will do the work, but then Cajun B strikes right back, and it's a man advantage here for TSM. Device holds his own in CT, and that's going to set it up for Cajun to lock down that kill. And Guardian now the last man alive here. Trying to do the best that he can, but it's not meant to be this time. Cajun just coming through with frag after frag there for TSM.
Yeah, I normally don't like T-pistols where Raw's taking mid at all, or even going towards the mid area, because most of the teams actually just stack middle and just retake both bomb sites, because it's a lot easier to retake the bomb site with the long distance pistols that you have. Opting to do that split is not something that I would advise.
It's so tricky, it's so tricky. And now we have to see if Na'Vi want to change up the pace. They did go for 4 smokes here. They have a single Molotov as well on Zeus with a flash to follow it. So Zeus taking a bit of a hit, not going for the Kevlar, electing to get more utility. And it looks like Na'Vi right now, they are set up. They're waiting on a time to just chuck out these nades and make a run for it here onto the A site. 2 players holding here for TSM as well. Dupree up close with that P90. Could be ideally placed. Could also have a nice touchdown nade here onto 3, and he is going to do big damage. That can set it up huge for his SMG. Device steps in with the FAMAS as well to pick up 1 kill. And he's still alive here in CT. Not sure if he spotted the man dropping electric. I think he did. So that's the one man kind of boxed in to get right with 1 in Tetris as well. And we'll see if he can actually land these kills. Gets that peak just on time. Finds the headshot. But Zeus is finally able to bring something back, taking out Dupree.
Yeah, going to be hard for Na'Vi to get the bomb down here. They do have the 1 smoke that they put up, and Seized is trying to get it done, and it's going to be just in time over the B-bomb site. Will win the fight against Cajun. There is another player here, and he's got 1 health left, so that's actually a bit of a shame. Imagine if Seized wins that second fight against Sipnix, then the round could actually slip out of TSM's hands.
Yeah, overall though, it was a good round by Na'Vi, getting the bomb down, faking into A. And this is a bit of a mistake from TSM. Normally you would want to call, okay, I see the bomb, or I don't see the bomb, and just look at the radar. They never saw the bomb, and they still rotated back, giving Seized the bomb plant, and then ended up getting the kill as well. So, good plant from Na'Vi.
Not a single SMG either on TSM that round. I mean, they had the P90, I guess, but none of the MP9, MP7 shenanigans.
Does it rate, right?
Not quite.
I just asked Flusha. I mean, you also have the money. You don't get that bonus money with the SMG. You just get the standard 300, so it is a bit of a give and take there. That was definitely more expensive than TSM would have wanted it to be. And now we do have a pause coming in here, so we'll see what the call is going to be for these teams. Nobody taking off their headsets, so we should be fine. But not sure if it would be a tact pause. I don't think it would be any call for a timeout right now.
It might be. Just having the first weapon round, just discussing a little bit. Okay, well, what do we want to do? Better take it now, because they do have the lead. There's no point in like waiting until it's like 12-12 if that ends up happening. Having it now, just talking, okay, well, what do we want to do throughout the half here? We saw during that eco, like, okay, when we end up going A, you saw the rotation coming from TSM very fast. Like, can we do something similar? Like, can we fake them? Or what is the initial plan here coming into the first weapon round from Na'Vi?
It'd be great if they can close out this game very quickly without getting TSM any kind of chance to get back sort of, into the game at all. So, yeah, I mean, it'd be a little bit unorthodox, I think, if they already took the timeout now, but it would kind of make sense, because I mean, Navia have had some history of having difficulty closing games, so maybe you just want to do it straight away.
That is a good point. Not letting TSM get the confidence to go into train, knowing that they can land some shots.
Yeah. But you do have the head admin there, so it is not a tactical pause. It looks like Guardian is having some difficulties.
That's pretty much for Navi, at least like the last man you want to have some difficulties. Yeah. You want to make sure that guy, everything is good. You need a massage Guardian, rub your feet a little bit. I think he'll be doing all right. We got like an attempt at a wave going on in the crowd as well.
We gotta do better than that.
In the pre-game interview when Dupree was asked who's the dangerous player on Navi, and he said Guardian. Turned out he was right. I mean, he's had a terrific first half already. So yeah, definitely needed him to fire on all cylinders.
Well, he's one of those players where if he has a bad game, Navi loses. It's quite as simple as that, especially on maps where you heavily rely on the op. If he has a bad map on, say, for Inferno, it's not that big of a deal. But on maps like Mirage, coming into Train as well, does too. Like these 3 maps, they are crucial for Guardian, and for Navi as well, that Guardian actually plays well on these 3 maps.
I mean, it seems like you have Seized and Edward who are able to step up their game individually, but it still feels like Guardian is the linchpin for Navi. They kind of live or die by his sword, by his AWP. So that's definitely something that's going to be going well here for Navi, at least. That he gets everything he wants out of that first half, and as soon as he gets his op going, he's going to definitely be doing some damage here going into the second one. That's what TSM are looking to try and dodge, I think. Like how do we set up so that we don't really give Guardian those entries that are just going to allow Navi to roll onto a site? Or do they go for a bit of an Edward? I mean, that's the thing, if you're thinking from TSM's perspective, are they going to go for a bit of an Edward and try and bop Navi on the nose really early on here, just say, we're not afraid of you?
It really depends on the kind of situation. I would say, like on a map like Dust 2, you want to try and avoid Guardian as much as possible, because since the map is so open, you don't have to necessarily go to where he is. Like if you know that he's peeking mid, for example, just end up going fast A. If you know that he's not mid, then yeah, B split. You just try to avoid him, because retaking with an op is extremely difficult, especially on the B bomb side. On Mirage, knowing that he doesn't have that many places to go to try and pick with the op. You have mid most of the time. You can go Palace if you want. B is not really an issue. So just lock him in down. You don't even have to push. Just make sure you don't overly peek him. Because that's the only reason why, or that's the main thing that he wants. Oh, so we have some hardware issues.
Yeah, it sounds like a hardware issue.
Yeah,
through here. So
for Guardian, his mouse doesn't work.
Did I really hear Gangnam Style there?
I think I did. Was it you,
waiting,
Anders?
dude.
I try and avoid doing that, generally speaking. But I don't know. I am.
Kiss cam.
That's very sweet.
Well, I want to do kiss cam with you, Sebler. Well, I was gonna say Anders, but he's sick. I'm not gonna kiss Anders.
Not getting anywhere near, dude.
Yeah, Fiflyer. Who made me sick?
I no comments. That was someone else.
Was that the last time we did kiss cam?
Yeah, I thought we were never supposed to mention that again, dude. Like,
what stays in Montreal,
yeah.
Or what happens in Montreal stays in Montreal, Anders.
Apparently not, because it came with me to Europe. That's how it works.
Oh, God. But yeah, I actually think that this pause coming from Navi is actually better for TSM. They can talk things through. They've been obviously having some difficulties on their T side, switching over to the seat side, managed to win the pistol, but this is a good break for TSM. It's like a free timeout.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the main thing right now.
When you're down this far as TSM are right now, I mean, this is Navi's game, obviously. When you're this far behind, is there a tendency to play it even more safely when maybe actually you should be taking some bigger risks on the CT side?
I mean, especially on if you end up starting on the seat side and you have like a poor showing in the first few rounds, you will just end up. It's like a mentality where you don't want to lose the entry, right? So you're gonna end up playing more passive. Coming in for TSM now, they actually can't afford to do that, especially on their seat side. They need to play their game because again, they haven't really gotten to show how good they are on the seat side in this game yet. So.
Well, this is interesting here. We actually have an early buy coming out from Navi. Based on that last plant, they're going to try and spend that money and go for an early Tech 9 here. They do have that FAMAS on Guardian as well. He managed to recover that from the last round. And so far, TSM have started off fairly well. Navi just not letting up. They're going to rush right onto the side, take advantage of all the smokes that they've put down, and that's Device on 1 HP. But it's going to come down to the retake now for TSM. They're the ones who are going to have to actually keep their cool. And once these smokes clear, land the shot. C's starting off strong, taking out Dupree. However, there it is. 3 quick kills coming in for Navi. 1 coming in from Cajun, but that's just not going to be enough. Edward with a double kill. Locks it down, and Navi now on 13 rounds. This is worst case scenario for TSM. They just got 4 spot.
Yeah, and they actually did try to just retake the site, problem there was that Navi was so aggressive. It looked like TSM wasn't even ready for it. Seas with that entry frag just opened up the whole Seas one. He already had one more play that was dinged from before, so he couldn't do anything. So you basically were relying on 3 members from TSM trying to retake the site with versus people with Tech 9 and armor.
Yeah, well, nice start.
Yeah, at least this round is looking a little bit better to begin with. Sipnik's also very close here, but he's going to end up dropping. That would have been a great kill end. Karrigan looking for an opening, but sees this on a bit of a rampage. He will eventually go down, and Cajun does get an attack and a jump scout right into Flamey, and that's going to be a 2v3 here. Bomb goes down, but if they can win it back here, TSM, there might be a chance. Good grenade, and another hit coming in, but Guardian is still barely alive. He's going to end up dropping, and now it's all on Edward. He sprays and takes down Device, and he goes down to Dupree. And it's going to be the round for TSM. Very close, but it does work out.
Massive play from KJB. Navi had the complete control of the B bomb side. He managed to get the 2 kills, even hitting Guardian before he goes down as well. And just made life so much easier for TSM. And that was a well-needed round from them as well, losing the past force buy, re-winning it with like, yeah, they're forced by their own. You see here, these 2 kills so crucial from.
That was like 4 shots he hit in a row right there. Because then he gets that tag onto Guardian, bam. It's so sick. Cajun B definitely the MVP of that round for TSM. But now Na'Vi, they come right back into it. They're going to go for the buy. They've got the AWP on Guardian as well. And here he is in mid. There's the battle, and Guardian wins it flat out versus Device. Guardian down to 73 HP, but that's really not going to matter when they have the entry frag here. TSM, are they going to be just once again set back?
I mean, if they win this round, they can probably bring it up to 13-8, and then it's actually possible. Then they're within sort of striking distance, but they gotta win and also survive with a bunch of people. They can't just keep winning rounds where it's 1 or 2 people alive.
Yeah, no, it's a very, very dangerous slope. Because like you're saying, if they keep on...
Well, that flash was completely ineffective.
Yeah. Good positioning by Seas, actually being able to actually dodge the flash. If he had, if he was a little bit closer up, he would never be able to have time. So, and this is what I like about Navi. They get the advantage and they just stay and hold because they know for a fact that they need to try and chase a frag here.
Well, this is really nicely done by TSM though. They are going to be putting an extra man over, but Guardian lands the shot. Dupree's been found out. He will get that kill versus Seas, but then Navi just going to follow up on him. Even flashed Flame, he's going to land the shot there. Karrigan out in the open, trying to do the work, but it's just not meant to be. Na'Vi will completely overwhelm that site. Despite TSM taking the risk, putting all 3 on that site right there, not even leaving a man behind on B. They just wanted to lock down A. Yeah. They just couldn't get the work done.
Yeah, no, and like I say, like this is what Na'Vi does best. If they get that initial entry, I really want to see the percentage that they actually end up winning, because that's the whole idea. If you end up losing that entry frag, you want to try and chase back, right? You want to make it into a 4 versus 4, and TSM obviously tried, flashing KJB into connector, and up going down because Seast was smart enough to just make sure they didn't get flashed.
A bit of a failed grenade there from Guardian, but not sure it's going to make a big difference as they do have pretty much all the weapons, and TSM, I don't know, they're just slowly being pushed out of this game. Navi's playing just very high-level Counter-Strike at the moment.
Well, that was a nice aggressive push into apartments to open things up for TSM at least. They managed to start off strong, same as last round where Device was able to do work. This time around, however, Zeus and Guardian will be able to bring it right back Navi's way. Guardian with 2 kills, and that's going to bring it down to Cajun and Dupree, last 2 alive. Cajun just assassinating Zeus. Up close, takes the fight and loses it, and Guardian once again. Guardian is just, he's so on point on this map. 3 kills for him. So that's pretty much it. At this point now, Navi are on map point in the first map of this best of 3.
Yeah, and I mean, I have no words for Guardian. That's what I'm saying. Like he's so good that he carries that team. Yeah, sure. Cease is obviously the player throughout this tournament has been good for Navi, but Guardian overall, like you, just having just having him in your team is basically having 6 players.
Yeah, that's it, man. He's the impact kills. That's what he gets. Karrigan going to work with that CZ75, trying to find one, and he will eventually find the headshot on Edwards, so nicely done there, but he's down to 3 HP, so he's going to have to play very carefully. And now it's going to be Seized trying to find the angle. Does he go for it? Peekaboo kill, and the spray takes out Xyp9x, who really hasn't had too much luck on the B site. Point blank spray down here for Seized, and he could actually get the 3rd one as well. Karrigan just goes leaping through that window. No time wasted from him, and he will get the flank on Seized, so well done on his part. But he needs to find a teammate to actually chuck that AK to, somebody with a little bit of HP.
The weird thing is the bomb is still top mid here, but if Na'Vi get all the kills, I suppose it won't really matter that much. Device and Dupree are left, and Flamey Very nearly taking down Device in that window. Backup is coming in, but it's not going to be that good either. Device will end up very nearly dropping in. Guardian is still controlling this mid window. Just needs to bomb. This is looking over and done for TSM.
Woo! Right on the edge and one. Zeus gets the team kill on Guardian. That's not how it's supposed to work at all. 30 seconds left. Plenty of time for Zeus to get the bomb plant. Now we go into the 1v1 situation here where Device, so little HP. He's got the CZ, but he will be able to pick up an AK to work with. And Zeus does get that bomb plant. Does not plant it for short. He's going to be able to take the position behind the bench. And now he's got all the angles. He's got all the time. He can play this right. He's looking for the peak. Zeus, no fear, does get spotted, and Device now has the AWP. So Zeus, aware of this, going to set it up so he doesn't really have to peek, or if he does, it's going to be behind the flash. And the lack of the kit here just means that he doesn't have any time right now, Device. He has to go, and Zeus is playing this so well. Now that he knows where Device is playing from, no surprise there. Perfectly done. There's the clutch, and Zeus wins the first map here for Na'Vi.
Yeah, very solid play from Na'Vi. That round could have actually ended up in TSM's favor. Having the bomb all alone up mid, you saw that Guardian actually forced to stay at catwalk, trying to help him out. And by the time TSM actually noticed that the bomb was actually mid, they just decided to take a gamble and just try to fight him there.
We might be reaching a point where it's time to stop picking, or at least start, banning Mirage against this team once again, because they are so good on it.
They're far too strong, you're right. I mean, again, a very strong start here for Na'Vi in this best of 3. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break here before we get into the second map of this series, Train, so don't go anywhere.